So what's your overall job description?
General marketing work, setting up emails, doing social media work, and writing content as well.
And what kind of company do you work for?
I work with a screen printing company. So screen printing, let's say you played volleyball in high school. So our company is focused on screen printing sportswear and uniforms and spirit wear. So if you played volleyball, we would have a jersey, and we would order in that jersey, say from Under Armour, and we would print the name and the number on the back, and then we would ship them out directly to the coaches or to their team members. So we focus on the sports side of things, typically high schools.
So have you always had your current position, or did you start out in a more entry-level position?
So I started as an intern in December of 2017, and I was an intern for 5 months, and then they hired me on full-time in April.
Do you need a minimum level of education for your job?
Most definitely. You need a bachelor's degree at minimum. I have a bachelor's degree in public relations and 2 minors in marketing and digital design, which is similar to graphic design.
What made you choose those fields of study?
So when I got to school, I saw they had a PR major, and I tried a class, and I really enjoyed it. It was public relations research. So I picked up the major, and then I thought minoring in marketing would be great, and graphic design is a skill that I found marketable. That's kind of how I ended up with that. I had a slight interest in public relations, and I took a class and found that it really benefited me.
Was there anything that specifically made you choose public relations as your main major?
So I chose public relations because I understood that it was really important to be able to write and speak and to understand the importance of keeping up the image of a company. So that's why I chose it as a major, just because I wanted that basis understanding. And then marketing, I started taking those classes because I wanted the ability to strategize in my skill set. And then I took graphic design stuff, partially because I'm artistic, but then also because I wanted a marketable skill, like something that other people just can't do.
And what would you say is the best part of your job?
I would say the variety that I have. Marketing specialists and interns are kind of ones that are working on very specific things. For example, we have a marketing specialist that strictly works on landing pages and emails. So those are his 2 specialties. So my job is to speak with the managers and directors and see what projects we have going on, and then I determine what that specialist needs to work on.
And what's the worst part of your job?
I would say that sometimes it gets very busy because I do have so many things going on. It's like I need to be in meetings constantly because I am a part of the discussions, the bigger discussions, but then I also have so many tasks to work on myself. It's a little bit difficult to balance them. So I'd say being that busy is probably the quote-unquote worst part. It's manageable, though. As you get used to doing the job, you get used to managing your time. But that would probably be the worst part, just that I get pulled around a lot.
Do you have any specific tools or anything that kind of help you stay on task and help you stay organized with all the stuff that you have to do?
It's actually a website that helps me. We have a website that we use called Asana. It's a task managing website. This is actually what keeps all of us on track. The way it works is that on the sidebar there are projects, and then within every project there are tasks. So it's quite literally a checklist, and you have a deadline next to it, and you can have notes inside of it. So that is what I use to manage myself, and it's helped me quite a lot. So basically, just checklists are what really help me manage my time. So I'm actually looking at it right now. I have 4 things due tomorrow. So in the morning, the first thing I'll do is look at my whole list of what I have to do and then decide, which one needs to be done first, or if I have to ask questions about something, I do it in the morning versus rather than doing it later in the day. So it's really just balancing a checklist is what helps me.
Does everybody in your company use Asana?
It's used by everyone in our team. So everyone on the marketing team specifically has an account with it, and so we can see each other's tasks, or we can assign things to each other or switch jobs on things, and that's where we can look at all of our main projects as well.
Was there anything that you learned when you started working, that school didn't teach you?
I would say how to work on truly in-depth project. Like in school, you will get a paper you have to write, and it may be like a harder paper to write, and it may take you a couple weeks, but it doesn't have several departments working on that paper. Like now I'm learning how to work between departments such as sales and business development and, you know, other coordinators that I'm working with and different tiers of people. It's such a different world when you're working with so many different departments because there's so much communication that happens. So I definitely learned how to work with dozens of people rather than just a small group of 3 or 4 that you would get in class.
Is there anything else that you've learned through work?
Time management is a big thing for me that I'm learning right now. Like I said, with the checklist and everything, I'm learning how to balance big projects versus small things. I'm also learning that following up with people is very, very important. So if you think about you have a big project on your hands and there's a lot of little tasks in between, people want updates. So I'm learning that as you move through a big project, you need to let people know where you are. So those are 3 big things for me.
Now, do you have anything that you did learn in school that turned out to be very helpful in your actual work?
Yeah, I do. So mostly with digital design, because I learned Adobe Creative Suite, again, that's Photoshop, InDesign, Illustrator, all of those. I'm so happy that I learned them in school because they've become an integral part of my day. Every day, I'm definitely using them now, and if I had to learn them after school, it would be so difficult because I had the time to just play around with them during school. But that, and then just knowing Microsoft Word, Excel, Outlook, the email application, basic things like that, I use them every day, and I'm really glad that I don't have to learn them now that I'm outside of school because you're just expected to know them. So